that being said, grab your drink, hot, cold, whatever it is. Hi, Lefty Professor. I got my not too hot coffee. Ba-da-bum. And if my laptop opens, good morning. Oh, okay. The joys of it not wanting to do that. Let's go over those three talking points. One, Bethlehem was never a cozy nativity scene. That back to that propaganda. It just it's not. Take that. I love a pretty picture. I just bought myself some beautiful like Christmas boxes to give people gifts. It's okay. Okay. We're just gonna move through those things. The never a cozy nativity scene. Talking point two, supremacy culture started with controlling birth, land, and lineage. Okay. And as we're doing this series, I want you to take it when I talk about a long arc of liberation, this is what I'm saying. Many of you that are here have been called to be here in your own spirit. It just feels right. The way I educate, the way I show up resonates with you. And you probably come from a very long lineage of people that have always thought, felt, understood, and was dismantling. It is not by happenstance. It's why I try not to give too much credence to those who want to argue with me. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's not where I want to place my energy. Lefty Professor says, I mean, come on with the white Jesus. I mean, that part too is like just the place in the world, right? Like you could turn around when I talk about that. I'm like, I want you to think about like we now understand appropriation, co-opting at the core, and take a breath. Christianity is anti-Semitic. I know. When I learned that, I was like, no, but yes, but yes, but yes. So all of these things are, like I said, propaganda flattens the truth. There's quite literally no way. Like Rome and it put those things forward, right? Like this idea when they realize that they have conquered so much land and they're like, oh, we can't control we can't see it anymore, right? We can't. So you have to put together a program, something that would control the masses. And unfortunately, they then took a liberation movement, which is what Christianity intended and was, and co-opted it and made it the program that we see today. Jessica says the Passion of the Christ really showed that anti-Semitism loudly. I mean, yeah. And again, I love to really be honest with you guys, right? I don't ever want to come here and be like, I knew all of these things. I love the Passion of the Christ. I watched that thing like you would the Ten Commandments, right? Like, remember Ben-Hur, the Ten Commandments? Growing up, we would watch that all the time. And I watched the Passion of the Christ like religiously, pun intended. And never noticed the anti-Semitism in it, right? I'm like, it's just the truth, da, 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 da. Until really having a conversation with a Jewish friend of mine, and they're like, let's talk about Mel Gibson. Like, and I was like, oh God, why are you taking away all the people that I love, Lord? Like, I love Mel Gibson, right? Like, who did it? And then I was like, oh, this is wildly disappointing. So, yeah, there's a lot that we are going to unpack. And this is going to be a heavy month. I do not want to pretend that it's not, right? But we're going to move through, take the breaks that you need, and just soak it in. It may not even hit you until March, and that's absolutely fine. Ingrid said that was me with The Cosby Show. And I still love The Cosby Show. Let me tell you, like, I could still love Mel Gibson movies, right? Not The Passion of the Christ. But oh God, it was devastating to find out who Bill Cosby was as a person. Now, Cliff Huxtable is forever a dope ass TV dad. You know what I'm saying? But Bill Cosby is pained my soul and heart to find out that he was a predator in that sort of way. Yeah, devastated, devastated. But Cliff, forever will mess with Cliff. So talking point two is supremacy culture started with controlling birth, land, and lineage. And talking point three is if you remove the empire from the story, the liberation becomes clear, right? So I'm going to give you a happy arc. I don't want to just destroy anybody. Okay? I literally am reclaiming my own Christmas, right? I shared on my Facebook that it has taken me 2 Christmases from my separation to really get into the joy. Now my tree's up. I got decorations, I'm shopping, and I'm thinking about what we're gonna do for the holiday. Lefty professor said Gibson is a bigot. He's the reason the pardon of Liz Oyer got fired because she refused to give Gibson his firearms back after his. Oh my! And I didn't even think you can get. I thought that that's like a part of it. If you have DV, you just do not have. You're not allowed to be armed. Period. I'll come back to that because my ADHD will now spin me around that. Okay, so let's start from the top. Okay, we're going to try to keep with the time. Bethlehem was never a cozy nativity scene. It was a colonized homeland under violent empire. Yeah, yeah. Bethlehem wasn't the nostalgic backdrop where we were handed through a sanitized Christian tradition. It was people under occupation, a land under surveillance, a community living inside the political chokehold of Roman rule. I need us to truthfully recognize that. A few months back, I did an article where I was like, Jesus is Lord or something like that. It was a battle cry, right? And I lost a couple people because they didn't read the article, and that's fine. I recognize that some of the things that I write are activating, or people need me to be in this binary. But what it was really unpacking um, what Christianity was and my own journey with my own decolonization, right? For years, I I just got a little check in the mail, $30 from a book that I wrote, 30 Days of Fasting, How to Get Closer to God. This is not new for me, right? I'm a pastoral counselor, worked on women's counsel, all of those sorts of things. So it's not something that's new to me, but I had visited Turkey and I went to Ephesus. And just being in Turkey in this ancient land put something completely different into my spirit, right? I'm swimming in the Aegean. What? I'm a girl from the Bronx in the Aegean Sea, right? In these ancient waters bathing. I was able to go